The minor leagues are back, baby. Tons of highlights in just a minute here, but we're starting at Fort Myers because Jorge Polanco is back, baby. Polo goes 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, plays second base in a rehab game that only went 6 innings due to rain. Moving on to the St. Paul Saints. This was a wild game here. St. Paul finally gets in their home opener. It's been delayed a couple days. There's Blayne Enlow on the mound. There is their home opening day lineup there. Edouard Julien warming up. We'll see a lot of him. The weather was not warming up. 37 degrees in St. Paul for this one. Yuck. Oh, boy. Edouard Julien. This is just, every home run looks the same. This guy just goes opposite field like crazy. So much power to the opposite field and not a big guy. You don't see him pull a whole lot of balls, but man, is he able to hit this and way out. We see this so often from him. So Julien homers, Garlic homers, back-to-back home runs. Tyler White ends up homering back-to-back home runs for the Saints in the first inning here. The wind was also blowing out, so a rough day to pitch. There was something like 16 walks in this game. Blayne Enlow had some really good moments, but again, it was a brutal day to pitch. Enlow only goes 3 2/3 innings, gives up 3 runs, strikes out 6, but walks 4. Part of the disruption, too, was that there was a long delay taking care of the warning track out in right field. Here you see Enlow walking in a run. Super out of the usual for him to be walking this many guys. Gotta have to figure the weather impacted him. Nobody pitched well in this game. It was rough. 23 runs were scored. Here's Edouard Julien once again punching one through the opposite way. Lots more of him. He was a central figure in this game, playing all over the place. Matt Wallner against a lefty with 2 outs, driving in a go-ahead run here in the 5th inning. Again, a lot more scoring is going to go on here. Here, a drag bunt that Julien was playing back on. He can't quite make this play. Going to be really focusing in on a lot of defensive highlights of him, just a heads up. Speaking of which, makes a great play here. Elliot Soto tries to kind of glove flip it, but just kind of gets a roller over. And Julien with a really quick transfer and nice throw to complete the double play. Looked good on that play. Again, a little bit of a mixed bag. Here our old buddy Tyler Duffy walks Julien to score a run. It was a rough outing for Duffy. This ball hit by Garlic falls in with the bases loaded in 1 out, and then Matt Wallner again against another lefty hits one deep here, doesn't go out, but he does clear the bases to put the Saints up late here in this one. Kyle Garlic with a magical slide there to get in. And we keep progressing on here. Edouard Julien, once again, 1 out in the 9th inning. Almost makes a beautiful play there. That would have been a great one. And then with 2 outs, this would have ended the game and sealed the win for the Saints. But it takes a weird hop here, and Julien kind of not really prepared for it. Hits off of his hip. The game continues. Saints still have a lead. But Cody Lawyerson cannot get the job done. He cannot close it out. Cannot get that final out that looked like it was secured on that ground ball to Julien. The Iowa Cubs take the lead in the top of the 9th, and then to pour salt in the wound, Julien records the final out of the game. Saints lose 12-11. Whew, that was a rough one. Better days ahead, better weather ahead, too, luckily, this weekend. Wind Surge, here's a look at their opening day lineup. This is their very first game of the season. There you see Brooks Lee. We'll take a look at some of him. A BABIP wizard is what I'm calling him here. He actually reached on an error here in the first inning, beats that out. Later on, single up the middle, just a slow dribble. Didn't hit anything hard tonight, but he was 2 for 4 with a walk and reached on that error. So just on base a ton was Brooks Lee. Drives in a run here. And Blayne Enlow was the starting pitcher. A guy who they had transitioned to the bullpen last year. Once upon a time, a very big prospect in this system. Back starting, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Blayne Enlow back, baby, and he still's got that beautiful curveball. Yunior Severino here at third base making a beautiful catch into the netting. He also made a fine play on a hot shot to third base here. I kind of like this guy. We'll also show you a big RBI hit he had with 2 outs. Here again, another kind of just seeing eye signal that gets through. gives the Wind Surge an insurance run. There's Lee coming around to score. And Wichita won 4-1 tonight in their opener. Cedar Rapids, also their opening day. Was curious to see how they would align the infield. And there you have it. Noah Miller at shortstop. Jose Salas, the guy they got in the Luis Arraez trade at third base. There's a lot of issues with the Peoria broadcast, so I didn't get as much Jaylin Nowlin as I was hoping to. But he went 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 unearned run, walked 3, struck out 4. So a nice, solid start for him on the season. A lefty to watch. Here, Emmanuel Rodriguez, he only drew a walk in this one, but he advanced 2 bases on this pass ball. Really heads-up play there, really aggressive base running. That allowed the Colonels to get a run, scratch across just on this harmless ground ball for their first run of the game. Noah Cardenas, nothing harmless about this one. Oh, my goodness. Catcher who had a .421 on-base percentage last year in Fort Myers punishes this ball for a home run in his Cedar Rapids debut. Speaking of Salas, here he is dumping one into no man's land in the Bermuda Triangle there late in this one with the game tied up. And then Keoni Cavaco drives in the game-winning run, the eventual game-winning run. A guy finally out of Fort Myers, up with the Cedar Rapids Colonels for the first time, and what a nice way for him to start. Thanks so much for watching this video. Lots more minor league coverage to come. If you're into that, subscribe. Thanks so much to all the channel members for sponsoring this video. Here are the premium members. We'll talk again soon.